My message for my mum: stay strong in your next life, in the spiritual world. Remember everything you've done, you did the best you could. I might not appreciate it when I was younger, but I know now you only did the best you can. Might not appreciate the religion I was born into, but I know why you did what you did. The time is slow when you wait. Time is fast when you are late. Time is deadly when you are sad. Time is short when you are happy. Time is endless when you're in pain. Time is long when you feel bored. Time is beautiful when you are in love. Every time is determined by your feelings, your psychological, your conditions, and not by clocks. Never make fun of someone's passion, because that's a thing that saves them from the world. A quick temper will make a fool of you if you not be aware, and be consciously aware of your emotions and reactions to one another. There's spirituality in different kinds and different situations, and means different things to different people. Every part of this earth is sacred in the situations of any people may try and exploit, and for whatever purpose, whatever gain. It's very sad, it's very hollow when you see our earth being destroyed. Life is short on this special earth. For humanity's sake, joined together, not apart from each other. I only know what it's like, personally. Turning away, being very shallow for many years of my life. I can't change the clock. I can't turn it back. I worked on hard on me for many, many years to come to terms with the pain and suffering that my mum's boyfriend put me and my older brothers and sisters through. This always affects me as an adult now, on top of everything and trauma related to going through. I find my path. I'm getting there. I'm halfway through. Forgiveness is important. Forgiveness of yourself with things you feel you blame yourself for is life, unfortunately. We're all struggling in our path. It's important. Mistakes are always forgivable if one has the courage to admit to them. And that's my journey, you see, in life. The great mistake is to appreciate the outcome and engagement that you ought not to be thinking of whether it ends in victory or defeat. Let nature take its course, and your tools will strike at the right moment. Bruce Lee. Those who are aware that they are waking in darkness will never seek the light. It is so true when you're stuck in a rut and you think you can cope alone. Sometimes you need to reach out. And it's not always great when you're trying to deal with people you don't know. If you don't try, you will never know. So sooner rather than later, you'll get over this shite. And you swore that you never ever get over, but it will be the best feeling in the end in the world. And a positive, one would like to think, an outcome. My message for you, Mum. You did the best you could. Don't give up trying. For anyone out there to do what you really want to do, when there is love and inspiration, I don't think you can go wrong. It's so easy to turn inwards with the pain and suffering. I thank all those: Rebecca Bradley, Lost Horizon, Mr. Quinn, by a cat for all these years. You gave me encouragement. To face to face my demons myself. I never got on with my mum. But she taught me a lesson, you see. Never give up on your dreams, despite your setbacks in life. She raised me. Excuse me. She raised me in Bible verse. And I know I can't turn back the clock. I've had to work on me to forgive me. And I know she tried behind the scenes to help me in her own ways. I couldn't see it then, you see. I can't turn back the clock to make things right. I can only live by this from experiences in life. It is very hard when you have trauma and things happen in life. So by taking responsibility for one's spirituality and awakening and transformation of oneself, one becomes directly interacting with humanity's awakening, and your personal evolution is needed for the world to change. So whatever else anyone else is going through in life, we're only here for a short period in time on this earth. I know full well there's so much going on in many subjects and many situations that's beyond a lot of our control. Think within and look within. Sorry about that. Look within, and one may just see and realise what power you have within your mind, body and soul and heart. Unfortunately, those that work in various areas I've been dealing with, especially recently, I find it extremely hard to relate and to communicate. When you experience an attempt in your life for so many years ago now, and you're close to death, and you find you still can't cope with that trauma still, these labels are not us, although the system needs labels on us for their own survival, I suppose, in the modern way world is now. But I thank my sister today from the bottom of my heart. And if it wasn't for these kind people I met online, for a period of time now, that gave me the encouragement to build a relationship back up with my sister in Wales, I wouldn't have had her out the blue, the kindness of her heart, to put me on a messenger app with my mum today, to see my mum for the very last time before she passes away. I might not be able to deal with people or any meetings, but at the moment, I don't know how long that can be. I don't know. I think I don't know at the moment. I'm still in shock today. The doctors are going to give her days to live. And to see my mum, knowing that she is well cared for, I know Mum said to me this: I'm ready to go. I won't be here now. She said it to me in such a way, in her face, in her eyes, that she was happy to say that. She's got no fear, and that was so lovely to see. I know it sounds a bit strange, but I know my mum's ready to go. She's 84 now, you see. She's only been holding on for me. Sorry. Because she knows my physical disabilities, my reality is not great. I know behind the scenes that my adult son loves me, and my daughter-in-law does, but they don't know how to cope with a relative that is so unwell. I don't know that now. And it's trying to live in the moment now, you see. You can't change the past. You don't know what's going to happen in the future. It's not happened yet, you see. And that's what I've been dealing with and concentrating on me. To live within the moment. And it's so important. So if you want to learn about consciousness and awareness and spirituality, or anything like this, in my experience can help somebody out there in this wide world web. I come from the point of view that somebody's got a mixed up world. They're living in so much injustices. And in ways for thousands of many people, men and women like I, especially United Kingdom. Time is short, and the willingness for your subconsciousness to try, I know it's hard to do in meditation, to help with your conscious awakening of mind. For all the life's pressures that are thrown at us in everyday life. One good thing out of all, my mum, for the religious upbringing I had, I never turned to drink or drugs, and that's one thing always stuck with me and raising my own children over the years. I've not been perfect in my life. I don't think there's no such thing. But we can forgive. Easy to forgive a child, isn't it? Who's afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light, or women. Sometimes there's too much ego in people in life, or pressures to perform in the way the world is now. Stop for a moment to look around you. Stop for a moment to look at the birds. Stop for a moment to listen to beautiful sound of nature. I only know too well it's being destroyed. One good reason, I suppose, in a strange old way one could look at this situation, that my mum won't live to see what's about to take place. That's already in fruition. The sad part of it all, in a way, I suppose, is that my own adult son and daughter, my grandchildren, still not aware. I can't help them in the way I'd like to, because I have to help myself to move on in a way. It's still going to be hard. The miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. It is very important in that. So yet again, I think originally when I met Rebecca Bradley, a talented artist in her own right, learning about the spirituality in oneself through meditation and information, I began to learn. I now concentrate on that more than ever. And having life experiences, I think sometimes eventually makes you stronger. You don't think it will at the time when things happen. And like today, I've just come online to make this presentation. In my experiences on my previous videos on this channel, goes by anything, it's made me stronger in this current situation. I don't always see it like that when I deal with public servants in the job, in the way they need to do things, because I know now it's just the way the things are, the way it is. It's on the physical earth. Peace enough to everyone out there. I mean it from bottom of my heart. Doesn't matter if you're my enemies or those that try to be still negative towards me. You know who you are. I forgive you for your transgressions against me, and those that not occurred yet, because I know eventually your time will come, unfortunately, that you too, your spiritual soul and energy will pass on. It's hard for every human individual on this life on earth, no matter what part of the world you're living in. It is time for humanity to come together. If I haven't learned from anything in my own experiences all these years and all these lives, and even more so now than ever. Taking the breath, you appreciate you're alive in this physical form, in mind, body and soul. The eternal flame of the soul lives on in each and one of us in all manner of things. Doesn't matter what life style you live in, beliefs or religion. We are consciousness. We're all part of this earth in all manner of different ways you may not be aware of. For now, there's very good people that are switched on, that do know much more than obviously I. I can only go on from the little bits I know. It might not make sense to those that might watch this video. But for my mum, from the bottom of my heart, although she won't see this, I knew from her eyes today, with a brief conversation about she's passing away, she'll always be around me. She did the best she could. That's all she could do. That's all anybody can do. I didn't know my father. Sorry, I didn't know my father. There's a lot of problems she covered up to protect her kids, you see. And in a way, I've always tried to seek who my dad was. But I can't keep digging up the cold can of worms. It's best to leave it alone now, to move on for the next phase of one's life, to build a future for the sake of my adult son and daughter, and then somehow rebuild the relationships that are damaged, unfortunately. I don't know what's behind it. I'd like to think I'd know. I haven't got all the answers. It was just too much to consumption in my mind otherwise. For the sake of my grandchildren, their next generation, for the tough times are laying ahead for much of us. So create your own world, create your own mind, create your own spirituality. But remember, our souls, we do live on. Spirituality in ways and lives you may not be aware of. There's so much blessings in influences of true love and happiness and living as humans, beings and the souls, and we're all connected. It's so powerful to know that. Sometimes we forget this when we're busy rushing about in life, when it's like a conveyor belt, really, in a way. When there's clocks keep ticking away, there's times to have to go there and times to have to go be there. Life goes on, yet again. Death, births, stresses, many situations. This is nothing new, I'm sure. It's a part of human life. We're all going to pass away one day. Yes, it's a shock and distressing. And it's more difficult when you're in one's position. You do everything in your power, as much as reasonably possible, to get up to see your dying mother. When you're completely limited in mobility and health, despite saving as much cash as I can, there's no accessible transport in my area to get me up there to where she is now. The next time I'll see her is in a coffin on her funeral. My elder brother, you see, is the power of attorney for all those affairs. That's the very one I don't get on with. And I'm trying my best to build a better relationship with him. He doesn't want with me. He's got to be in his bonnet. He's got his own problems. I can't help that. It can only build on me. You can't please everyone in life. You can only try and move on with your own little self situation. Yes, it's confusing life. For me, for anyone out there, the sound of all sorts of confusion and madness and all different kind of conflicts in life that keeps going on globally as well, Just remember who you are deep down inside. Take a moment out of that busy life. Even though you might have families and you're just having children perhaps now, there's preciousness of that beautiful born baby in your arms. Sometimes you lose them at the birth, like my sister did. She never forgets all these years on. Despite our differences, as I said, in life, I thank goodness for those that taught me over the years how to build. It takes time, yes it does, to build the relationships and trust again. It's not easy at all when you've had so much trauma in life to build the trust again. It's never easy. But compassion and love unconditionally, it does help. And it is important. And you can't always trust your next of kin. You can't always trust your DNA family. But don't forget, there are people you might come across that you can build a different type of life or relationships with. Sometimes you feel you're cut off from everything because your personal circumstances are of that. So the self-awareness of your own situation might help. And that's what I really need to say right now. I need to get some rest and get my thoughts together. I'll come on for those that this might help. Not just me, but others going through what I'm going through as well. So I'll end this now. Although I'm awakened for so many subjects I know over the years, my time is now to focus on me, to move on in life and work with those that are trying to help in their how they call it, professional capacity in ways I don't like. I really do not like. But if I don't try, how can I move on? How can I build a new life? So these men and women in their job capacity, obviously they cannot go, in their work environment. They don't know you. They haven't got a personal relationship with you. And it's just learning that balance in life. There's more precious in life to come. So all I can say that I appreciate for those that's been following me on this channel in a ways that might or not always come across the way I would like to, perhaps. So this is a bit of keeping it now, just the basic things right now for a while. I need to concentrate on me. And I like to think eventually, my next phase of life, on my journey, what I've gone through, I can share and help other people. But at the moment, this is a long way off. As I say, take one thing at a time. And right now, I need that to myself. God bless. Peaceful with you. Remember who you are deep down. And I hope my experiences might help from someone else today.